Right now, from coast to coast, across presidential battlegrounds, it's all coming down to this night and this choice in a history-making, rule-breaking, jaw-dropping campaign. The people are choosing, the world is watching, and anything is possible until the last vote.
We would like to welcome all of our viewers from around the world. This is MBS News. You're watching the latest coverage on the historic City6001 2026 election, where we find out who will lead the nation for the next 4 years. Right now, we're watching a live view of Capitol Plaza in western Malice City on the right, as well as a live camera of a polling site in Amonda City at Mena River High School on the left, which is located in the most important county of this election between Thomas Witherspoon and Denny Haywood. Spica County has been highly contested in the polls, with no clear winner in the county, which has been shifting left after being a traditionally conservative county. Taking a look at the Electoral College map, 200 electoral votes is what's needed to take the election. It is between conservative candidate Witherspoon and incumbent President Haywood from the Progressive Democratic Party. Together, people from all 13 regions of the country will cast their vote in this election, and results from the first poll closings will be arriving shortly, along with a few exit polls coming in right now. As we can see, President Haywood has the edge in terms of favorability rating. 60% of voters had a favorable opinion on the current president, 38% had an unfavorable opinion, with 2% undecided for a net favorability of 22%. Meanwhile, 47% of people had a favorable opinion on Witherspoon, while 51% had an unfavorable one, with 2% undecided, leaving him with a much worse net favorability of -4%. Additionally, we also pulled results for the vice presidential candidates. Witherspoon's VP, Hector Ben, follows a similar trend, remaining quite unpopular among voters with a net unfavorability of -10%. 38% of voters viewed him favorably against 48% unfavorably. Haywood's running mate, Monroe Milburn, is quite popular with a net favorability rating of 13%. 49% of people viewed him favorably, while just 36% of people had an unfavorable opinion of Milburn. Lastly, we wanted to show you the predictions in the most important county in this election, Spica County, with its 85 electoral votes. It will likely be the county to push either candidate above 200 electoral votes tonight. The polling averages from 398 and Real Direct Politics have Witherspoon leading by 0.4 and 0.2% respectively. Betting markets, however, are giving Haywood a slim advantage in the county. Multi-market puts Haywood's chances of winning at 52%. This county could go either way given how tight the race is, and so various forecasters place Spica County as a toss-up. Alright, with all that out of the way, the first round of poll closings are just moments away, and will be taking place shortly at 7 p.m. Malice time, where we will get our first results for the night. Coming up right now, polls are closing in Numels and Tenita states, located in the topmost part of the map. These are some of the few states instead of counties in this election. We will receive our first results as soon as the clock reaches 7 p.m. here in Malice City. 35 electoral votes are at stake. Our first results have just come in. MBS News can officially project that Thomas Witherspoon has won Numels State, taking the state's 14 electoral votes. This gives him a very early lead to start tonight. MBS News can also project that Thomas Witherspoon has won Tenita State with its 21 electoral votes. Now, let's take a look at the map. Thomas Witherspoon has secured 35 electoral votes, while Denny Haywood remains at 0 for the time being. You can see the states that have been called are shaded in based on who won the county. It's going to be a long night ahead, and we'll have our next results at the 7:30 poll closings. It's now 7:30 p.m. in the nation's capital, Malice City, and polls are now closing in Hampton County, the only county in Tenafly State so far. 29 electoral votes are available in the county. MBS News can now project that Denny Haywood will win Hampton County. This wasn't much of a surprise. Hampton County is a rather liberal region of the country. Looking at the Electoral College map, Denny Haywood now has 29 electoral votes to Witherspoon's 35. We'll be back for the next round of poll closings at 8 p.m. Malice time. Polls are now closing in 2 more counties here at the top of the hour. Caprane County is worth by far the most at 122 electoral votes, over half of what's needed to win. Polling in Castor County in the bottom right of the map is also closing. In all, 137 electoral votes are available, and projections are coming in right now. We can now make a projection in Caprane County, a key Democratic stronghold. This gives Denny Haywood 122 electoral votes. Next, we can also project that Castor County will go to Thomas Witherspoon. The map now shows a very different story, with Haywood taking a firm lead in the race. She now has 151 electoral votes, compared to 50 for Thomas Witherspoon. Our next poll closing is at 8:30. Voting is coming to a close in another region, Defimeter County, located in between Caprane and Castor counties, where 14 electoral votes are up for grabs. We are getting close to the first battleground county poll closing, Stanton County, where voting will end in just over 30 minutes. Alright, Thomas Witherspoon is projected to win Defimeter County's 14 electoral votes. This projection did not significantly change the race to 200. Democrat Denny Haywood remains in the lead with 151 electoral votes, while conservative Thomas Witherspoon now has 64. Stay tuned, in just 30 minutes, polls will close in Stanton County, which is the first of the battlegrounds to close tonight. Again, polls are now closing in Stanton County, which will contribute a major portion of the 200 electoral votes needed to win. As you can see, it is too early to call in Stanton County, but vote counting is well underway. Thomas Witherspoon holds an early lead right now. In the last election of 2022, Stanton County went to the Democrats by around 5% 4 years ago. Since then, Stanton County has gradually been shifting to the right. Democrats are only expected to carry the county by 1% according to the polling. On the map, counties that are too early or too close to call will be shaded in white. Votes will slowly be counted in Stanton County until a projection can be made later tonight. The electoral vote counts remain the same at this time, 64 for Witherspoon and 151 for Haywood. Here we are, the most pivotal moment of the night is on the way. Voting is coming to an end in Spica County and 85 electoral votes are at stake. Whoever wins this battleground county is virtually guaranteed to reach the 200 mark and win the election. Take a look at the first hint of where the county is going right now. Votes have begun counting in Spica County with Haywood taking the lead as of now. We are unlikely to get final results from Spica County anytime soon, but we will continue to watch how the numbers trend. Spica County voted conservative in the last election by a 3.5-point margin, but it has seen a leftward shift during the election cycle from the rapid urbanization of Amonda City. The map largely remains unchanged, but we now have 2 uncalled counties that are too early to call. We are coming up on the next 2 poll closings. It's 10 p.m. here at the MBS News Prediction Center. Voting ends in Lafayette and Lakeview counties. On the map, they are the 2 rightmost counties that are still shaded gray. MBS News projects that Thomas Witherspoon will carry Lakeview County's 12 electoral votes. There are 24 electoral votes at stake in this poll closing. Lafayette County has also been called for Thomas Witherspoon, awarding him another 12 electoral votes. The Electoral College now shows Witherspoon at 88 electoral votes. Haywood remains at 151, shrinking the deficit marginally. The important races are still counting in Stanton and Spica counties, where we have updated numbers coming in. We're now on the penultimate poll closing of tonight. Polling stations are closing in Sansaros County. There are 13 electoral votes at stake in the county. We can now call Sansaros County for Thomas Witherspoon, adding another 13 electoral votes to his total. Sansaros County goes to Thomas Witherspoon. On the updated map, Witherspoon has eclipsed 100 electoral votes. In the battleground counties, he trails in Spica County by 15 points, while Haywood is behind Witherspoon in Stanton County by 14.5%. Polls have closed everywhere except in the western regions of Barron County and Estethel State. At last, we have made it to the final poll closing of this election night. Voting will end out west in Barron County and Estethel State. It's not over just yet. The race to 200 will still remain undecided for quite some time. We do not have calls in these two regions at this time. In fact, we may not receive results tonight at all. While these are not the most important states, they are still close in the predictions nonetheless, and we'll be watching where they go as votes are counted. Barron County is worth 16 electoral votes and Estethel State is worth 13. We are also getting updated information from Spica and Stanton counties. Vote tabulation in Stanton County is nearly finished, and a vote dump from the Amonda City metro area was just received in Spica County, pushing the county up to around 60% of votes counted. This is the map. We now have 4 regions that have not been called yet. We have a major projection to make in a battleground county. MBS News projects that Thomas Witherspoon will flip Stanton County into the conservative column and carry the county's crucial 32 electoral votes. Witherspoon has led in the county since polls closed at 9 p.m., but that lead slowly decreased because of Democratic vote dumps in the populated state capital of Malice State, Annapolis. In the end, Thomas Witherspoon will maintain his lead and win the county by only 1.64%. Take a look at this. Witherspoon is cutting into Haywood's lead in the Electoral College. He now has 133 electoral votes while Haywood has 151. Considering it is this late into the night, the election will not be called the day of. The only regions that still have to be called are the close contests of Spica County, Barron County, and Estethel State. We have a key race alert coming in, no new calls at the moment. 92% of votes have been reported in Spica County. The race continues to tighten, now only 3,600 votes and 2 percentage points separate both candidates. It is coming down to the last vote. We will hopefully have a call within the next 30 to 60 minutes. Here it is. After hours of tense vote counting, Denny Haywood has crossed the 200 electoral vote mark to become president-elect in the 2026 election. we have reached the point where MBS News can officially project that Denny Haywood has won re-election for the presidency. The efforts of the Conservative Party and Thomas Witherspoon to win the election have fallen short this time around. This was decided with the arrival of the biggest projection for the night. Vote counting slowed down significantly in Spica County over the past few hours, but eventually, we now have results. Spica County will flip into the Democratic ticket following a leftward shifting trend in the county. It all came down to just 673 votes and a 0.34% margin. Despite how close it is, the MBS News decision desk has concluded Denny Haywood will hold on to this tiny lead. Every vote mattered in the county and every voice has been heard. We still have 2 regions to call. Keep watching to see what happens. Thomas Witherspoon has won Barron County. Almost all of the votes have been counted, and the results show that Witherspoon outperformed the polls, which predicted a Conservative victory by around 2%. This time, Witherspoon has won the county by 5 points in the final results. This ups his total to 149 electoral votes. There only remains one more region to call, which is Estethel State. It will be a while until we get results there. We can now make the final call for this historic election night, where MBS News projects Thomas Witherspoon will win in Estethel State and take the last 13 electoral votes. Witherspoon won the state by 5 points, also outperforming polling in the state, which expected a Conservative win by only 1.5%. Now, looking at the final electoral map, Thomas Witherspoon finishes with 162 electoral votes, while Denny Haywood has 236, with flips in Stanton County and Spica County this election cycle. Lastly, this was the popular vote result. Denny Haywood easily won almost 3/4 of the total vote given the centralized populations in cities. That just about does it though for the City6001 2026 election night coverage. Thank you so much for watching this video and for all the support. I really hope you all enjoyed, as this has been about 30 total hours of editing and about a month and a half in the making to record and fully edit. Feel free to leave your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Share this video with friends you think would enjoy it. That's all for now. See you next time.